Oh, Bruce, good to see you, my friend. How you been?
It's great to be seen. I have been fantastic. It has been a crazy busy week. Uh,
That
we're,
is the
we're,
understatement of the day, right there.
yeah, I know. Uh, yeah, Lewis decides to go off on vacation the final week before we're having a big event next week in Nashville or outside of Nashville. And so, yeah, all this, final preparatory work that we're doing for this truth tour coming up a week from tomorrow in Spring Hill, Tennessee. Lots of things to do and get organized and everything like that. So it's been a busy week, but I'm always happy to be here with you on Friday. I'm working on a few different things, some consistency in myself and my streaming, and my website is almost done. It's like this close.
Oh, we can't wait to see it.
I do have a half-assed version that I can give people the link to. You can go and test it out.
Kick the
It's
tires,
still
right?
yeah, to kick the
Yeah.
tires, make sure everything works good, and even get some feedback from people.
Yeah.
I'm here, we're all here, we're working together, we crowdsource stuff. So yeah, I'll send out that link in my all my social media, and I'll even pop it into the live stream chat and put it in the description so that people can check it out. It will be eventually at unpopularviewpoint.com, but right now I'm using the GoDaddy website builder, so it's a little bit different. The actual URL is unpopularviewpoint.godaddysites.com. So I'll make sure that gets in the links. It's going into the chat right now, so you guys can go there and check it out. But there's I mean, it's funny. Lots to talk about. I mean, it seems like there's a lot going on, but at the same time, it seems like there's nothing going on. Do you feel the same way, Robert?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm gonna give us a little pat on the back. First of all, I'm gonna say hi to Denise. Thank you, Denise, for doing all that you do. Carol Maureen is here. Joey's here. Buckshot is here. Buckshot's always here, and good to see you guys. Barb is here. Asher's here. Lydia's here. Boy, we've got the full crew today. So excited. So all week long, Bruce, we do this show. I do this show with Lewis, and Lewis was MIA for the last 2 days, so I handled it on my own, and that was fun to do. A lot more work when you're doing it by yourself, but I want to kind of go into this is a story from let's see here if I can bring it up. Tara Bull posted this today, and I thought this was kind of funny. I was reading through this list, and guys, you don't have to read it. I know it's very small on the screen, but I'll read it for you because I think it's kind of interesting for understanding why this show and the shows that we do all week are important. So she did the top 10 headlines the media didn't tell you happened this week. Number 10, that was almost not in mainstream media. Of course, we covered it, right? Trump indictments backfire. He leads in almost every poll. We talk about that all the time. Ukraine member of parliament expresses fear over U.S. speaker situation, does not want U.S. funding delayed to Ukraine. Boy, that money train, they're really excited. You know, they want to see that go. And you saw it on Zelensky's face. He was doing a little speech, and he looked defeated too. That, oh boy, they got rid of McCarthy. That's going to mean that's it, right? So Kevin McCarthy ousted as Speaker. Donald Trump has been named as a potential replacement. We're going to talk about that today. Family of Obama's chef, Tafari Campbell. We're going to talk about that. And they are Donald Trump supporters, the MAGA people, us. The SEC, we talked about that, by the way, yesterday. We're going to dig into a little bit more today. The SEC goes after Congress for insider trading. Just kidding. They're investigating Elon Musk for purchasing X, formerly known as Twitter. She's got a sense of humor, this girl. Number 3, the Federal Appeals Court blocks federal agencies from coordinating censorship with big tech.
What? I thought it was the other way around.
There was a pause on it, but apparently it went back the other way. It was just a temporary 2-week little window that they had. The IRS agent who leaked President Trump's tax returns has been arrested and faces 5 years in prison. Only 5 years? You get 20 years if you were standing in the Capitol.
Or you were not even in D.C. That Proud Boy guy, Enrique, he wasn't even in D.C. and he got near, 30 years or something. It's crazy.
Yep. So, number 1, sanctuary cities, Denver, New York, and others beg not to have more illegal immigrants sent their way. Who else thinks we should send more? And we talked about that yesterday. We saw Mayor Adams on his way to Mexico to find out where all these immigrants are coming from. Hey, Mayor Adams, maybe you should watch this show here. You know what I'm talking about? We got that. We know what's happening there.
Unbelievable.
So I just, I was reading that and it gave me kind of a chuckle because, these are a lot of the stories that we cover. We're not, not necessarily you're going to find a lot of this in mainstream media. And, I really appreciate what Lewis has done here and what you, Bruce, you bring to this and what I've been bringing to it. And all of the people who watch, God, thank you guys so much for being part of this and being really awake enough to understand, there's more to what's going on. Than what obviously is being reported. The media has suppressed and suppressed and suppressed. I knew that when I was 19, right? When I was 19, I was in photo school, Dawson Institute of Photography. And I would walk around with cameras around my neck all the time. And every time I happened upon a bank robbery, a fire, whatever, I was pretty much usually the first guy on some of these scenes. And I would take these pictures and sell them to the newspaper. And my first experience with the photo editor of the main newspaper in Montreal was very fascinating. I was photographing the fire, and there was the apartment building, and the third floor had collapsed into the second floor and flames everywhere. Of course, this was black and white photography back then. And then I took the camera over, and there was a fireman on his knees consoling a little child who was screaming out of control. And I took that picture, and I go, that's the front page picture. And they go to the newspaper. I sit there with the photo editor. I ran home, developed it, made my contact sheet, made my 8x10s, and brought them down to the newspaper to sell them, right? To say, hey, I got these photos. And I go down there. He didn't even want the one with the fireman consoling the little child. He said, that's not going to sell newspapers. He said, this one here where the building is the third floor is collapsing into the second floor. That one will sell newspapers. And I thought, I'm 19. I have the power to direct what the rest of the city sees about this story based on where I point my camera. And I said, that was it for me. I don't want that kind of power. I really don't want that kind of power. Maybe I should have stayed the course. I don't know. What do you think, Bruce?
Who knows? That's a rough and tumble, bare knuckle blood sport. All these people out there trying to get, the first image or whatever. But it's becoming more and more increasingly clear ever since Obama, repealed or put back into place that law that they could propagandize us. There's so much that we get here in the United States that's fake, phony, and false, as Dave from X22 says.
Yep.
That's the battle we're fighting until the mainstream media actually gets goes down in flames. One way or another, somehow they get rid of their bullhorn. We're going to have a challenge. That's the battle we're in right now, is for the hearts and minds of people. What's the truth versus what the narrative that the mainstream media is pushing down our throats. So, I'm glad you didn't stay the course. Because who knows where do you end up? What time like that would have been on. But it's true.
It's a little bit full circle. I'm back in the media. You know what I mean? In a way,
yeah.
I'm back into this, but in a different way. I never thought I'd be the on-camera person. I was always behind the camera. A little bit like Sandra Bullock, who can do both. There's very few who can do both. I can be in front or I can be behind, and I'm comfortable either way. Bobby here loses his mind. Thank you, Master Baggy, for finding this. This is crazy funny, I think, because it's so representative. Kind of sums it up.
Where do we find it? I want to talk to that guy.
I know. We need him on the show, right?
I feel, and I know I'm not different than anybody else, because that's one of my, I'm just an average person, just like everybody else, trying to figure this shit out. And it's infuriating.
It is.
I completely resonate with Bobby Sauce's losing his mind, because that's where we've been through the last 3 years. Just recently, over the past few weeks, there was the September 23rd thing, there was some big, thing all kinds of movies and different things. There was a big videos all over the place.
Then October 4th, and then, now it's October 15th, and there's always something. It's just crazy.
Yeah. So, get off of that stuff. Good grief. The dates and the things happening, everybody on October 4th was taking their cell phones and putting them in the microwave, afraid of some freaking 5G, zombie apocalypse thing was going to activate all of the all of the what do they call that stuff? That black shit in the shots.
The graphene oxide.
The nanobot, the graphene oxide, and all that stuff. Everybody's going to jump off a building, all kinds of shit. That's why you have to wrap yourself in aluminum foil and put your phone in the freaking microwave. This is stupid stuff. I could go off on a whole 30-minute rant about this stupid crap, this patriot mythology junk that does nothing to move the ball forward in us saving our republic. All it does is, get more fear porn and more hopium and more bullshit. Yep. And it doesn't accomplish nothing. All it does is make us look more like freaking idiots. And that's why I'm not even playing that game anymore. I mean, I can even go deeper into the whole Cesta V Trust and all this other thing. People sitting around waiting for their multi-millions to come down when the military comes and changes everything. Fuck off. It's not going to happen. That does not exist. It's not reality. Get your head out of your ass. We need to get on the boots on the ground in your local community to save our country, save our republic for future generations.
Yeah.
All this patriot mythology stuff has to stop. Rant over.
He really sparked you, little Bobby, huh?
Oh my gosh! Because I feel that same stuff. It's just frustrating to no end.
We all do, yeah.
When we're trying to figure this stuff out, and everything's a calm. The color of Trump's tie, or how he parts his hair, or some stupid shit. Flags with fringe, wrinkled flags, this and that and the other. Come on, it's a bunch of garbage.
Well, at some point, if it ever comes out that all of it wasn't, then I'll start believing it.
Right. Yeah. Give me something. Throw it. That's why I've said for so long. They need to throw. If the white hats are in control, they need to throw us a bone.
They do.
Something. To know that we're moving on the right track. Otherwise, we're just pissing in the wind.
Yep. I got to turn on that so you can hear our videos better, because I know that when they go over Zoom, sometimes Zoom kicks the audio back at us. So I just want to take a moment to talk about our sponsor today, which is, who our sponsor. Bruce, do you answer all your emails?
I do.
Okay.
The ones people send me, yes. But there are some people that just email me, links to stories, links to this or that. So I don't usually respond to those. I try to stay up on, everything, like we'd mentioned, putting this stuff out there on Facebook Messenger, Telegram. I mean, there's just so much stuff, and people are sending so much information. There's no way I can get to it all.
Correct.
But I do see everything, just so you know. And if you do, ask me a specific question or some, inquiry, I do and will respond. Yes.
Joey G says, "Nice rant, Bruce. He really enjoyed that." So the staffers were cleaning out Nancy Pelosi's office after she was booted after they got rid of the Speaker of the House. And this is kind of what it looked like. This is the kind of stuff that was in her office. Just in case you were wondering what it looked like in Pelosi's office. It's a joke. Probably not far from the truth, but it's a joke. It's a meme, okay? It's a meme. Some people say it's a mean meme. Well, maybe. But, she has a reputation. It precedes her a little bit, doesn't it, Bruce?
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, that story of her getting booted out of that special hideaway office is huge. That just shows you all the, I wouldn't, nepotism isn't the right word, but all the, the glad handing, all the uniparty, sticking together and helping each other out. That's what it's all about.
Oh, it's so childish. It's so childish.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, we get this, I don't even know the guy's name. The temporary or the House Speaker pro tempore, that guy, I can even, funny looking dude. I could just see his face when I'm slamming down the gavel. But him, booting Nancy and Steny Hoyer out of their special, corner office type situations, that should have been done a long time ago.
Okay, so why did they put McCarthy in to that office? McCarthy's in that office now.
Oh, they did put him in there?
Yeah.
See, this is, there's so many layers to this information. I hadn't heard that part.
Yeah.
He took that
That's
over.
That's why I said yesterday, this is super childish. It's like, well, you kicked me out as speaker, so I'm going to kick you out of your office. And so they kick her out. She's not even there. She's at Feinstein's funeral here in California. And they kicked her out and they moved all her stuff out. They said, we're going to rekey the office by 8 a.m. Tomorrow morning or whatever. And all her staffers had to get her stuff out. She was complaining, you can't take my personal effects. Well, we found all your bottles. We know where you know what was in there.
Yeah.
And now, so this is an office that is reserved for the Speaker of the House. Kevin
Correct.
McCarthy is not the Speaker of the House. Why is he moving into that office?
Not anymore. That's correct. So he should not have that office.
He should
it
not
should
have
be
that
vacant.
office. It should be vacant, like the seat. The Speaker's
Yeah.
seat should be vacant, right? It's so childish. It's like, well, you did this to me, so I'm going to do that to you. It's really seriously, is that the way our government is run? These are the people running our government. These are the people that are supposed to be quote unquote our fearless leaders.
Yeah,
They're horrible.
no.
Horrible.
And then along those same lines, I mean, there's another story out. That there 45 uniparty Republicans were slamming the eight other GOP people who voted to get rid of McCarthy.
Yep.
There's the big old open letter to all these Republican colleagues. We'll put the link. But they put all these people in. So it's just it's a joke. There is our federal government and the way it's being run now is completely irredeemable.
Yep.
Thank you, MNG, MFRC, Patrick McHenry. Patrick Henry. Yeah, I got to remember. Patrick McHenry.
McHenry. McCarthy and McHenry. Got a lot of Irish people there, huh?
But yeah, I mean, it's irredeemable.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all criminals. Every last one of them.
So Matt Gaetz tweeted that he's not suicidal, and Nancy Mace replied and said, same.
Yeah, I mean, and when he was crowing about, getting rid of that, using his that thing they negotiated to vacate the chair, there was all kinds of talk about him being expelled from Congress because of some ethics stuff that was.
They want to kick him off the caucus. Yeah, they want to get him off there because
that's old news.
Yep.
That stuff has been debunked a long time ago. The whole that whole idea that you go to school, get a good education, get a good job, get married, have kids, work your whole life, save money, and retire when you're 65, blah blah blah. And everything's going to be hunky dory is all a big line of bullshit that they've been shoving up our butts our entire lives. It's a MK Ultra situation to keep us, just happy enough. They give you just enough to think that you can possibly attain some more and have leave a reasonable life. But that's all fake, phony, and false. Again, as Dave from X22 says, I love that guy. Everything is fake, phony, and false. That's part of the matrix system. That's why you need to break out. Job. If you want to get a good job, JOB. That's actually an acronym. It stands for just over broke. So broke is a temporary situation. You can change being broke. Poor is a state of mind. So if you're poor, it's a state of mind. You're never going to accomplish anything in that poor state of mind. Broke, you can fix broke. But it's all about breaking out of the matrix and breaking the chains, the debt chains that we've been told we're supposed to be living our entire lives. That's the fallacy of our entire system. And when and if things break through, we're going to see that on the other side. I mean, being your own boss is the way to go if you can, any way possible to do that.
I'm proud of you for quoting Tony Robbins. It's rubbing off on you. Fantastic.
I try. I mean, this is all stuff that's been, poured into us, and I'm breaking that mindset myself. I've, broken it. It's a challenge to stay in that, positive growth mindset, that abundance mindset, instead of that lack and poverty and woe is me, or that, fixed mindset. That's where we need to break through. That's what's going to change your life. It's not who's voted in, who's president, who's your representative, or whatever. It's what goes on in between these two things right here.
Yep.
What goes on in between your ears. That's where the magic happens.
Habit creates security. So in a situation that we're in right now, it's not a bad thing to have a habit of doing what you do the same thing every day. Have your routine, right? Because that creates security, because out there it's a little bit turbulent right now. However, it can also be a trap, double-edged sword, like Bruce is saying, is you can get trapped into the comfort of doing the same thing again and again and again, and you don't grow. So you've got to be able to, know when it's time to break out of some of those routines or change some of those routines, and some of them are going to be forced upon us. We're listening to, let's look at a few people we listened to this week. Everyone kind of aligning with the idea that things are about to get really rough. Benjamin Fulford, I was listening to his video this morning that he released a couple hours this morning, and he was saying, we're there. We're in Red October. And every day there's new signs that things are going to get rough. He said for the average American, it's going to be really challenging for a little while before things settle on the other side. So, your routine will give you security. It'll give you a feeling of, okay, my feet are under me, I can get through. But we also, at the same time, have to remain flexible because those winds are going to blow and they're going to be pretty strong at some points, right? And
right.
You need to flex with them and then, figure out what new routines are going to be. So we're all going to be forced in a way to grow. And it's ironic because I look at society as a macro, right? And if you look at what we all have been asking for our entire lives is for things to change. We want things to be different, right? We're tired of this. We're tired of corrupt governments. We're tired of all the systems that don't serve us, the big pharma, the FDA, and all the rest of it. We want all this to change. Well, our manifestations are probably coming true right about now. But, with all change, there's going to be a lot of chaos to get there. And I think we're in that space right now where the chaos is here. We'll get to the other side. We'll be okay. Keep watching, keep your eyes open, keep, tabs on what's going on. And, as we stay together as a group, we'll be okay. We'll be here to support each other.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that change thing, you talk about, I think it was Benjamin Franklin had the quote, if you want to change or trade your freedom for security, you're going to end up having neither, something along those lines, and, something in that nature. Sometimes security, it's like Robert said, it's a double-edged sword. And that change, people don't like change. People like the routines. They don't like things to change and be different. But even Q said, the precipice until you get to the point of change, you can't tell people the truth. You got to show them.
Right.
That whole, I can't remember who said the quote, but until the pain of staying where you're at right now is greater than the pain to change, then nothing's going to change. Because you're going to have pain one way or the other, right? We just need to accept that fact. There's going to be pain in changing, right? So if the pain to stay where we're at, is that pain too much to bear? Are we willing to, enact or, participate in the pain to change? I'm for the change. I'm ready to change. Let's bring some rods of God down. Let's burn the whole thing down. Let's put a fence around DC, fill the whole thing in with cement. It's completely useless the way it is. I tend to get off on these rants. We want to stay in that positive love vibration, bubble, but can't help but get, some righteous indignation with what's going on and just the lack of moving forward or the lack of large numbers here of people here in the United States. The apathy is still way too big.
It is. It really is. We talked yesterday about Mike Lindell having basically run out of money, and all his lawyers, we say quit. He said they pulled themselves off the case. Semantics at that point, right? They're no longer working for him. So, looking at what he was going through, and I said, ask what we can do. What can we do? What can we do? Well, go to mypillow.com. I don't have an offer code for you. Use any offer code, and just go to mypillow.com and get something. And buying a new pair of slippers or getting new towels, new kitchen towels. There's a My Slipper. Beautiful. Beautiful.
I got everything. I got the towels. I got the sheets. I got the slippers. I got the pillows. It's amazing. And then the best deal. Everybody and their brother seems to have a My Pillow promo code.
Yep.
But my research that I have done, if you just go to the My Pillow site and you look, if there's other people out there that you want to help support them and they get a little cha-ching when you go and buy a My Pillow thing, go ahead and use their codes. Like I said, everybody and their brother seems to have a My Pillow code. But we need to support Mike Lindell because he's been on the front line of this thing from the very beginning. And, the fact that they're coming against him so hard, the banks cutting off his, multi-million-dollar line of credit, the IRS now coming after him, his company and his employees. So they're the deep state and the cabal is coming hard against this patriot. And we need to do what we need to do. I'm going to go there after we're done here, and I'm going to find something else I can buy. I don't need a lot of stuff, but I'm going to buy something to help support the guy. Like I said, I already have the sheets, the towels, the slippers. The wife and I both. We got like 4 or 5 different My Pillow pillows. I got the little constitutional one. I support the guy as much as I can.
Yeah, we've got 6
he's
houses.
Worthy of that support.
We've got 6 houses, and every bed has My Pillow pillows on it. Most of them have My Pillow sheets, the Giza sheets, the mattress toppers. Oh, we've got it all. I mean, we've been buying a lot from him. We want to support him because he's worked hard for us, and he's been pushing hard against Dominion and Smartmatic, and these guys are trying to take him out. And now the IRS has been weaponized against his employees who work from their home. These are stay-at-home moms, and they answer phones. They answer the 800 number, right? With voice over IP, you don't have to be in a single location anymore. The phone system could be anywhere, right? You're just connected to the internet with it at that point. So these moms work from home, and now the IRS is targeting. They're auditing them, and I'm like, seriously? You're going to scare them off so they don't work anymore, you know? Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, lawyers are great until they're not getting paid anymore. Then they can tell you to go fork off.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just garbage. It's, you know, that's, you know, we're living as much as the people who watch this type of show and, you know, who resonate with our message, we're pretty much speaking to the choir here. But you know, we're living in 1984.
We really
you can
are.
see
Yep.
it, the way the FBI is acting. You know, there's a thing we can share. I can share later a story, a Substack about, you know, what the FBI is doing. A personal friend of mine here in Pinellas County has had, in the last 2 weeks, has had the FBI show up at her door twice, and because of the whole January 6th garbage. Almost 3 years later, the FBI shows up at my friend's house twice, interrogating her all kinds of different questions and things like that. It's just insane. The FBI is completely out of control. They're doing thought crimes. You know, they're trying to what's that the movie with Tom Cruise?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're trying to stop the crimes before they happen.
Yep.
You know, that's where it's happening right now. And people can say, "Oh, the white hats are in control. It's a movie." Tell that to my friend who's had the FBI show up her door the last 2 weeks. You know,
Wow. Almost 3 years later, this is insanity.
I've said ever since day one, I'm still waiting for them to come kick my door in. You know,
I'm waiting for one BLM to be arrested. One Antifa.
Well, yeah, there ain't none.
I don't see any.
No,
They're the ones who did a lot of
they
damage.
live in those sanctuary cities where they don't have bail, and then you know you can commit a crime and you know get a citation, a ticket, send
Yep.
you on your way.
Yep.
That's
Crazy.
what's going on in LA right now.
Yeah, and then Kamala Harris will bail them out. That's the way that works. All right. Truth Tour coming up October 14th. I want to play the video, and then we want to talk a little bit about it because we'd love you to be there. Just watch our video. Bruce, talk to us about Sean Fresh, who's going to be co-hosting with you this event. You're muted, my friend.
If you don't know who Sean Faresh is, he's the guy who does the Trump impersonations. He does funny videos. He's all over, TikTok and Instagram and places. He's got his own website, CaptainDeplorable45.com. CaptainDeplorable45.com. He's going to be there, kind of co-emceeing, doing a bunch of stuff in the Trump voice. I'm actually waiting in my to arrive in my email some voiceover stuff, some promotional things that he's going to be doing. But he's going to be there. We've secured Derek Johnson. The numbers of people that are going to be there are exploding as far as speakers and stuff like that. It's growing and growing and growing. Juan O'Savin will be there in person. Lloyd Brunson, of course. Ethan Lucas. Christopher Key, the map maker, Dylan Lewis Monroe, Kimberly Overton, the nurses. Kendra Strand is a new one that's been added. Jim Price is another new one. From people who watch Red Pill Projects, Josh Reed, he's fantastic. I got to meet him in Minneapolis at our Truth Tour there. Laura Worley, she's an amazing MK Ultra survivor. And then a couple of remote speakers, Gene Decode, you remember him? Gene Decode, he's going to be there via remote. And the same thing with Delora O'Brien. So, and Kathy O'Brien. So the thing is, we got tons of speakers. We're a little more, tomorrow will be 1 week. 1 week from tomorrow, we will be doing our event in Spring Hill, Tennessee. And there's a massive new thing. This is the last Truth Tour ever. There's a new announcement that Lewis is going to be making at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you can get there, there's free tickets still available. Go to the website. You got to register, to get the free ticket. There is even some premier tickets and general admission tickets still available. And it's an amazing, going to be an amazing epic event. It's a huge party. The final Truth Tour event ever is going to be happening 1 week from tomorrow in Spring Hill, Tennessee. And I cannot wait to be there. I know a few of my friends, Bobby Alvarez has got a ticket, was able to pull it off yet or not. But it's going to be an amazing event. And then if you can't, for some reason, make it there in person, you got to register for the live stream, but you can, get the live stream on Screw Big Gov. And I believe we're going to be pushing out to my channels, Robert's channels as well. So it's going to be out there live stream, but it is going to be an epic event. If you're anywhere near Nashville, Tennessee, you need to be there in person. That's all I can say.
And Carol Maureen Friesen's going to be there too.
Carol Maureen Friesen, almost forgot, my spiritual mother.
Yep. So she's in our chat room pretty much every day. Carol, we don't forget about you. You are one of the more important ones. Eh?
No, she just popped in my live chat. Bruce, I don't count. No, I apologize. I was, she is amazing. Psychosomatic, the body doesn't lie is one of her things. Get to her website. TheLightworkersInstitute.com, I believe it is. But she gives you free stuff, all kinds of free things, emails, stuff. You can register for classes. She got her sanctuary down there in Costa Rica that I want to get to here sometime soon. But yes, we'll never forget. You do count, Carol Maureen Friesen.
I think we just shamed Buckshot into going.
All right.
He said he can't afford the speed dating, but he'll be there, especially if Carol's going to be there. So there might be something going on there that we don't know about.
Just come. We'll figure something out, man.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll figure it out. There are free tickets available. There are three different levels of ticket. There's a premier, there's a sort of mid-range ticket, and then there is a free ticket. As the space allows anyway, those tickets will be available. So truthtour.net, folks, truthtour.net. And you can go there and get signed up because, 1 week away, how fast it's going. So Bruce will be hosting along with Sean Farish, and I will be hosting the live stream. So I'm going to be here in my studio, bringing the feed in from there and then sending it out to all of you. So I'll be popping in and out all day long, and it'll be a beautiful, long, multi-hour webinar, or webcast, which will be a lot of fun.
All day, starting around 9 o'clock-ish or so in the morning, going till, I think we're scheduled till around 7, but we know how that goes. Time is a construct anyway. Yeah,
10 hours of live streaming. I'm up for it. I'll get a good night's sleep. I'll be fine. All right. Shall we get back into Trump? There's too many rhinos. He wouldn't get 218 votes.
No. Yeah. It would be another dog and pony show, and it wouldn't accomplish anything, even though they're not accomplishing anything up there, really, other than padding their own pockets, for the most part. I mean, it's just insane. Even if we do get, Jim Jordan speaker, I mean, there's still, the uniparty we're fighting it, putting, I've said it for a very, very long time. There is no political solution to our current situation.
Correct.
Putting the best person, Jim Jordan, as Speaker of the House, isn't really going to fix anything. It's just going to, continue the dog and pony show. Now there's, articles I've seen today, hey, there could be another government, because they only gave 45 days for that CR. So if they can't find a speaker, then there could be a government shutdown because of that. There's more fear porn rolling out about that. Then you got Hakeem Jeffries, that whack job dude on the Democrat side. saying we need to have a bipartisan, co-membership thing, leadership, both parties having equal shares there, and that's just not going to work. It's just
Yeah.
so it's all
Because
smoke
those
and
guys
mirrors.
play fair, right?
Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. I mean,
Yeah.
even the same thing here that we're going on about with this whole impeachment inquiry. I mean, that's all for optics and to bring information to the public square, the public realm. But there is zero chance of any type of impeachment or removal from office happening of the resident up there
The
and his
resident is the right way to put it. Yes, absolutely.
the resident. So he's there's because it has to go through the Senate, and there's nobody. There's more rhinos in the Senate than there is in the House, and so with the slimmest majority that we have, I mean, I think that's one of the things that Lewis had right on. During the midterms elections, he gave a couple of different scenarios, and the scenario was, hey, we just get just enough, because we know that's all selections, not elections. Give it just enough of a thing to make me think we got to win, but it doesn't. It just forwards the status quo and nothing happens. Like I said, the whole thing needs to be burnt down and start over again.
If you look at McCarthy's record and you look at the things he promised to do and what he did, it's almost a zero. A total incomplete failure. And it is just like he did nothing for us. I mean, it was just like, so people are upset that he's gone. I don't get that there were only 8 Republicans that wanted him out. That is a little scary to me because it shows the rest of them are part of the uniparty. They wanted to keep the game going. I mean, to do a debt limit with no actual limit, just an end date. Here, Bruce, I'm going to give you this credit card. Has no spending limit, but it expires on such and such a date. Buy anything you want. Spend as much as you want to spend. Use it for anything your mind can think of. But on that expiry date, it's over, right? That's what he did. That's crazy. No bank would do that. Nobody would do that.
No.
Yeah.
But the straw that broke the camel's back, for Matt Gaetz, because with that deal for McCarthy to be speaker in that 15-round session back in January 6th, I think it was. The straw that broke the camel's back was the leaking of the secret deal that McCarthy had with the Democrats and the White House about Ukraine funding.
Yep.
They pulled it out of this CR, but there was allegedly some other side deal that they were going to give him the money later on, some other way. So, I mean, that was just the thing the straw that broke the camel's back for Gaetz to say, no, I'm done playing this game. You're not going to screw us over anymore. So, I mean, I'm happy for it. I just, like I said, it's until the whole thing gets burnt down and start over again, nothing's going to change.
Well, it came out after they passed the continuing resolution, too. So they passed it for 45 days. And he says, okay, we'll take the Ukraine funding out, knowing in his back pocket he already had a backroom deal. So you just lied to the people you're here to serve. You're a leader, but you're also a liar. And how about the January 6th videos, right? You said they were going to release all of those. You gave Tucker Carlson access to them for a week. He does one story, completely debunks the January 6th narrative. The tapes are locked up again, and then they fire Tucker.
I mean,
you're either in a position of power. Nobody's done a thing for the January 6th prisoners. Nobody's lifted a finger. Nobody.
No, I mean, there's people out on the street, normal people. The people, like the Julie Kellys and I can't remember. There's plenty of groups out there that are fighting. Trennis Evans, who's going to be in Nashville. He's a frontline fighter guy for the J6 people with his foundation, what he's got going on. But that's of the past few years. That has been the one thing that nobody has been. You mean like the summer of love?
The summer of love. Yep, the 2020 exactly.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars in damage and nobody goes to jail, and Kamala Harris has started the fund to bail them all out. Yeah, you go figure that out, right? So what's Jim Jordan thinking about the speakership? Kind of interesting. This is from the Daily Mail because we don't get good news from the American media, so we go to the UK instead. That's why the UK people watch our show. Right? So it's truth. That's what it is. Jim Jordan believes he is the one to unite a Republican Party. He said someone has to be speaker and believes he is the candidate who can unite the bitterly divided House Republicans reeling from McCarthy's dismissal. Jordan got a boost on Thursday night after getting Trump's endorsement. So if Trump's endorsing him on Thursday, why is the story appearing today that Trump would accept being Speaker? Just asking the question. Jordan said that while he appreciates the former president's backing, the focus is on bringing factions together and focusing on issues most important to Americans. Here's the quote, the actual quote. I appreciate the president's endorsement. He's the leader of the party. He's going to be our presidential nominee, and I think he's going to be our next president, so I appreciate that. But we're focused on, the key thing is our colleagues from the Freedom Caucus to the people in the middle, to committee chairs, to Jeff Van Drew, who was a Democrat 4 years ago. That's what he's focused on. So he's being very political here. He's not really taking any solid punches, which is a little disheartening because I think I'd like to see a guy who punches above his weight class punching a little bit at this point because I think he'd get more support, honestly. Like, that quote, I'm just not that impressed. How about you?
No, yeah, same thing. I mean, understanding that the political game, though. I mean, that's why he has to stay in that kind of neutral, central type of thing. I mean, when you're in a primary type situation, you can be a little more hair on fire, more bold, more punching above your weight, as you say. But when you get into the general, your tune has to change. You have to be able to appeal to a large swath and the Republican Party, if there really is one. Has a very wide array of people. But many of them shouldn't even have an R by their name. I mean, in reality, the whole two-party system is a psyop as well.
It is.
We've been MK Ultra. There is no difference. It's all the same. They're two wings of the same bird, two sides of the same coin. But
you should have learned that from Liz Cheney, right? The reason she ran as a Republican is because the candidate was weaker there, and she had a better chance of winning with an R next to her name than a D next to her name. But she's a Democrat.
Right. I mean, Lewis again, was right. The wisdom and stuff that he brings, and a lot of his takes are, seemingly, seem a little crazy initially, but then if you think about it a little bit, they're right on. So, he's either being fed information from somewhere, somebody, or something. But he's right in a lot of things he says. That's why I resonate, with what his message.
Yeah, he's able to, zoom back a little bit and be able to see more of the macro rather than the micro, because a lot of us just focus on what's directly in front of us. But if you look back, and I'm always asking the same kind of questions too, it's like, okay, we got this piece, where does this fit, right? In this bigger picture here, I've got this piece, where do they all fit? How do they interplay? How do they work together? And he's always thinking like that, more so than probably most anyone I know.
Right. I mean, that's one of my giftings too, is being, pulling back and seeing the 30,000 foot view. Mm-hmm. But my problem is being able to verbalize that, bring out into a coherent type of argument. I tend to be too emotional. I get fired up, I get pissed off and whatever.
Yep.
So, but I can see the pieces coming together. That's why I know we're on the right track. There's just so many. Terry Lynn in the chat says it's just a distraction for us finding out about all the reptilians in our government.
Benjamin Fulford's video is interesting. Actually, his newsletter, I don't know if you guys subscribe to it or not. I do, and it comes out every Monday. And he has been on this for a while now. That we're expecting the end of the U.S. corporate regime, and it's all about the money, and they're bankrupt, and just kicking the can down the road here by another 45 days isn't going to save them. So what he was saying today is that we're going to see some major changes in the political landscape. We'll see. I don't really, I like to hear this stuff, and then I look for where else is it popping up, right? Is it somebody just reading his newsletter and saying it again? That's not a second source. That's the same source, right? But where else is it popping up? And it's popping up now 3 or 4 different places that I found that is kind of interesting, that everyone's kind of saying, yeah, we're kind of at the end of the game here for the U.S. economy. I mean, we're getting to that point. And now I know, guys, I get this. Everyone watching today is asking the same question. What do I do? Where do I put my money? I don't have the answer. Buy gold, buy silver, or buy lead, right? That's what we get. But okay. Hard to buy a loaf of bread with a bar of silver. I mean, there's got to be another currency that will be in play There probably will be. There's probably something that'll come along to replace it, at least temporarily. If it goes away, it may not go away. It may just be valued differently. It may be based on something different. We don't know. But, Lewis, Bruce, me, we're all looking at this because it's the number one question that we get from people. What do I do to protect myself? And as soon as we have the answer, we're coming on. We're going to let you know. But no, we're not the only ones. We're not financial advisors. So, keep your eyes open because something may pop. There might be better information from other sources as well.
Right. Yeah. And if you want to get some of Benjamin Fulford's information, some updates and different things, the website is stillnessinthestorm.com. Is that where you go? Stillnessinthestorm.com.
I think that's a site that recopies his stuff. His actual website is benjaminfulford.net. That's his real website.
So he's got a lot of pay stuff.
Right. And what he does is he puts the newsletter out on Monday, and that's for the paid subscribers, and then he releases it on Thursday for everybody else. So you can see it for free if you go to benjaminfulford.net. You can see the earlier ones there. And it's a fascinating read because he goes in so many different directions. It takes a little while to get on board with everything that he's talking about because he's talking about this as a global issue, right? We kind of focus just on the United States, but the United States is only one piece. And if you look at the immigration problem we have here, where else is it happening? Happening in Ireland, it's happening in the UK, it's happening in Poland. It's, you just go around and you start to look at it that way. It's like you start to see, well, there's a greater plan at play here. It has nothing to do with US politics, it has nothing to do with Biden, it has nothing to do with Trump. This is much bigger than all of that. And when you start to see it from that perspective, then all of a sudden things start to, take on a different texture, if you will, as far as our understanding goes.
Yes, it is a global situation. Yeah. We tend to forget about that.
Yeah, we do, and we're U.S. focused. I ask people here in the United States, hey, what do you know about Canada? Oh, it's cold up there, right? Because that news doesn't come here. We're so U.S. focused, and if you go to Canada, they know everything that's going on in the United States. Their focus is entirely here. They barely care about what's going on there. But they're in a dire strait as far as
it's worse off up there. We think we have it bad here.
No, it's much worse there.
It's worse off. I mean, I do get some stuff. I have some friends that are up there in Canada, and I keep my finger on some of the pulse up there. But the restrictions, the censorship, the government, coming after normal everyday people for nothing, seizing bank accounts and all that different type of stuff.
Yep.
My ears were perked, and most people were paying attention during the trucker convoy situation that was started up in Canada. That's what kind of made me start look. But my friend Jeff lives up there from Right On Radio, Jeff Shepard.
Mm-hmm.
Right On Radio, he's up there. My friend Shannon's up there. So there's several people up that way, and even Brad Wansley. He's.
Are you live?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't supposed to happen. But yeah, so the Canada stuff. That's why I've started looking at others' websites or others sites that are not U.S. based. Like the RT, like the TESS or TASS, Al Jazeera. All these these different the BBC Australia.
I'm on Daily Mail every day because why they have the stories that just aren't getting reported here.
Yeah.
The stuff that's being censored, you're finding it. So when you look at that, I had a couple of people, Bruce, tell me it's like, I'm so glad that you guys dig into the news because I don't have the stomach for it. And some of them are like, I can't even watch the video clips that you guys play. That's just too much. But, we bring it out and bring it in a way that's easy to digest and easy for people to understand. And it's not so detrimental because you can see beyond a lot of it. A lot of it is really designed to scare and panic everybody. We don't go there. We don't play the game, right?
No, this is what's happening. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
There's nothing that they can do unless you let them, that really can harm you. We have all the power, we the people. We have all of our rights, and they, as much as they try to obfuscate those rights and make us think that they're our overlords, that's just not the case. They don't hold any space or rent in my head. I get pissed off when I see all the different things happening and people buying into it and all this stuff. But that's just my personality and the way I am.
Yep.
You know, I'm an emotionally, I let things always out there on front. I'm never afraid to talk about the 500-pound gorilla in the room.
Well, it is a battle for our minds, right? And you know, we are most controllable when we're in fear, right? So we will do anything when we're in fear to get out of fear. So the higher they rake the fear up, they rack it up, rack it up, rack it up, the easier it is to manipulate and control us. Yeah, the idea that white hats are in control is a non-starter. I mean, clearly, if they were in control, this would be over, right? And the other thing is like, oh, it's a big show. Sit back and eat your popcorn. Not really. We need to be involved here. This is all hands on deck kind of time, you know. And we need to be informed. We need to know what's going on. And I always say, Bruce, when that moment comes where there's going to be something specific that we need to do, we need to be ready to do it, right?
Exactly.
Now we're doing what we're doing. We're doing the shows. We're getting the word out. We're sharing stuff on. Okay, that's great. But is that enough going forward? Now, some people write to me and they say, Rob, you're doing a great job. That's enough. There's more. There's always going to be more, right? And all of us need to be ready for that. When that call comes and we say specifically, this is what we need people to do, they do it. Like so many, I got so many emails last night. People went and bought from mypillow.com because the call went out. There's a guy in trouble, right? And so maybe maybe we helped them with some sales. Maybe we got some money going in that direction. That's fantastic. Is it everything we can do? No, but that's what the call was today. Tomorrow, I don't know. It'll be something else.
Absolutely.
Yep. And we'll be ready. And that's really what's required.
And that's the whole thing is being prepared. Being ready. Like my friend that called me and talked to me today about the FBI. I said, well, what you need to do if they show up, probably could contact a lawyer and see where you can go if they're going to continue to harass and intimidate you. You need to be able to shut them off, and you need to talk to somebody with a legal, background of what you can do without getting yourself in trouble. Just being prepared,
right?
Contacting, being set up. Mm-hmm. You should have these things, little things in place for any eventuality. Mm-hmm. We don't know what's going to happen with the food, food supplies. I got food or water situation. Who knows? If you got some money stuck underneath your mattress, cash, who knows if it's going to still be usable? I don't know. But, we have to be prepared for any eventuality because anything can happen. We know that these Luciferian asshats are willing to they already done plenty, but they're willing to do anything to continue to stay in power. That's why they're fighting so hard to make sure or try to make sure that Trump, doesn't get on the ballot or get elected president again, trying to put him in jail, or seeding the consciousness that he's some bad thing. That's what they're all doing with this whole FBI MAGA extremist thing. They're trying to seed the consciousness that we're all bad and evil, and trying to put that narrative out there. This is all part of the psyop that they're trying to stay in power with.
Yep. And the more we buy into it, the longer they'll stay in power. This is the big game. They're just trying to pull the wool over our eyes. And that's Trump's legacy. If he never comes back into power, his legacy is that he pulled the curtain back for us. We didn't know how deep the swamp was. We didn't know how corrupt it was. We were going along thinking everything was just fine, not knowing. And now we know.
I mean, you always, assume that there was, some levels of corruption and, this and that, but we could never have thunk that it was that deep and broad and that every single thing is fake, phony, and false. The stuff that we taught, history and all that stuff. This gets even further than just the normal everyday life, political things and, the inflation, how we live our lives, but even just the history of humanity has been called into question too. Yep. So that's a whole topic for another show, another discussion. The whole history being fake, phony, and false.
Let's take a Neumi break, shall we?
Absolutely. I love it.
Oh, I love my Neumi. Neumi is so good. And then Bruce is putting it on his face. That's why he looks like he's 16. I know Phoebe does. Phoebe uses it too. She loves it. Maybe I should be using it too. I don't put it on my face though. I don't like something on my face. I don't know why. But we like that. Well, NutraSwish, for those of you who don't know, and there's a few here who don't, but there's a lot of you who are using it. If you're using it and love it, let us know in the chat room. I'd love to see how many people are actually using Neumi's NutraSwish, which is a liquid nanoparticleized glutathione and turmeric solution that is really, really important for your body to give you good health, to help you with oxidative stress, help you temper the aging process. A lot of people are reporting increased energy, better sleep, they recover faster after exercise, and it's just so many good things that it does, including, and probably the most important thing, which you can't see, is that it detoxifies the body. The liver requires the glutathione to pull the toxins out. That's the liver's job, and gets them out of your body so you can start detoxing. It's not the only thing you can do, but certainly it helps a lot. Now, as we age, we make less and less glutathione. Actually, 10% less every decade of our lives. So it really starts to drop when you get into your 50s. You don't have enough. Why do we look weathered? Why do we look old? Well, that's why. One of the things we're doing is we're experiencing oxidative stress. So I encourage you to go over renegademedia.tv/health. There's a page there, and that page tells you a little bit more about the glutathione, the Swish product, and also tells you about the product that Bruce was just demonstrating, the Neumi Skin, which is a glutathione spray that you put on your skin. And people are reporting their wrinkles are firming up. They have fewer wrinkles. The color of their skin is a little bit lighter, a little bit fresher. They look a little bit brighter. So people are really loving it. There's a lot of before and after pictures on that page as well. You can get an idea of what you can expect with this product. I love it. Bruce, I know you take it as well. And can you take off your hat, Bruce, and show us what's really going on?
I mean, my hair is getting unruly. I mean, the reason most people see me mostly bald is I shaved it to keep the thing super low, high and tight because when it grows in, you could call me patches. I mean, there's a lot of new stuff. You can't really see it here, but there's lots of new hair right here in the front. And on my legs, I have always had, women are very jealous of me and my legs. I don't know if it's some medical condition or what, but I've had my legs are smooth as a baby's butt. But right above my knees, I've noticed I'm getting these patches of hair that are growing on my legs, and my wife is freaking out. I mean, it's an unknown or unadvertised side effect. These claims are that nothing have not been approved by the FDA, blah, 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 this and that and the other, so you can not get in trouble. But just try it, check it out. Yeah. I mean, I encourage people, I'm begging or asking, pleading, people send me some testimonials, via email or comments in the section or, on Telegram somewhere, get a hold of me, message me on Facebook, Bruce Poppy on Facebook, you can find me. But I'm looking for testimonials. I'm putting together a whole other site, a way to be able to promote this thing more because it is a fantastic, it's probably one of the best products that I have tried. There's lots of things out there that talk about a lot of stuff, but this one I have actually personally experienced the benefits of using this product. And it's not
some people their hair gets darker.
Crap.
Right? Some people's hair gets darker. Like Lewis, his hair turned dark again. He was silver like I am, and my hair didn't. It's turning dark in the back though. And the back is starting to get darker now. People are noticing that. And there's some areas in the front here, but I've got a light on it, so it's a little hard to tell. But it is darkening. It is much darker than it used to be. It used to be absolutely paper white. And it would look like, if I'm under the lights, it would look like I had a halo on. So it is darkening somewhat now. I'm real excited. I hope it goes a little bit further. But I'm one of those people, I started going gray at 17. So one of those wise ones. Gray hair started early. Okay.
Yeah, use it.
Use it. Try it out. Joey says he does it twice a day. Good job, Joey. Let's see here. Who else is talking here? Indigo Blue hasn't ordered the Neumi Skin Spray yet. Good investment? I would say it is. If you can look at some of the before and after pictures there, especially of older women with their hands getting wrinkly and stuff, the before and after pictures are stunning, what an impact it has. So, yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. All right. We have Letitia James. You know her? From New York City? Not true.
This is part. I mean, if there's any movie stuff going on, this has to be, because this is just completely so ludicrous and not even beyond the realm of comprehension of any type of reality. The type of stuff that she's trying to pull against him in New York is mind blowing. He was there for a couple of days and he said, "F this, I'm out. I don't need to hang out here. I got more important shit to do." So they were giving him grief that, the Trump show is now over in New York. Now they can get to the business of tearing down his businesses and tearing down Trump Tower in New York or converting it to illegal housing.
Exactly. They lost 80% of the case on day one.
Yeah.
80% of the case is thrown out on day one.
And this whack job judge, it looks like I don't even howdy doody type of dude. That guy, I mean, Mar-a-Lago is worth $18 million. I mean, even people down here in Florida who aren't Trump fans saying that's just crazy.
There's a video I have. I don't have it queued. Do I not have it queued? I don't have it queued. Oh, maybe it didn't download. There was a video from 1996 or 1986, I think, when he bought it. And he bought it, I think it was valued at 20 million then. He got it for less. He didn't say how much less, but it was valued at 20 million in 1986. So I'm like, okay, so yeah, the whole thing's worth 18 million. Yeah, that's the driveway is 18 million now. That's what that is. You know?
It's just ludicrous. Yeah, and then crazy. The fact that it's not a jury trial, it's a judge.
Right.
The judge is the one who ultimately makes a decision. We pretty much know he's already made up his mind. Being the orders that he put in place and removal of their licensing to do business there and all this different type of stuff. So,
and I think what the truth of the matter is, I think his lawyer said it best this week. Haba, what's her first name? Ali something, Alicia Haba. It's escaping me her name, but her last name's Haba. And she said, "This is going nowhere." She said, even if the judge rules against, this is not going to go anywhere on appeal. She said. So I think Trump just said, I'm out of here. This is just a circus is really all this is, and they understood that this isn't going anywhere. And it's kind of interesting. It's like you're seeing this flip now, and there's another one that we're going to talk about a little bit here. Another one of his cases was put on hold today as well. So that just broke, and it's kind of interesting to see. All of a sudden, everything was stacked against him. And now we're in this space where all of a sudden these things are falling apart. The wheels are falling off of it. And you saw it was really, and I Lewis and I were talking about this, and I think you were as well, Bruce, that this was just to sully up his reputation. And it did the exact opposite. Lewis calls it the golden boomerang effect, right? Every time they try to go after him, his poll numbers go up.
Even even independent-minded people who aren't hair on fire, conservative, Republican, MAGA types, are seeing this stuff play out in the mainstream media, and they're just like scratching their heads. What the heck? I mean, the convoluted legal theories, this legal jujitsu or some type of wrapping. I don't know. It just doesn't make no sense. No common sense at all.
None whatsoever.
So that's what's waking more people up, and that's the whole purpose. I was hopeful, when all these indictments first started happening, that this was going to be our chance. And from the J6, the Jack Smith stuff, the J6 one specifically, and the Georgia case, and because of you have to be able to put on a defense, so but I don't know if that's going to happen now either.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see this. These are going to play out, and since it's not hurting him, I'm just wondering at what point do they kind of throw in the towel and stop playing the game. Maybe they don't. Maybe they play it all the way to the end. I mean, maybe that's what their plan is.
They're going to be playing it all the way till the gallows door opens up and they're popping down on that rope. They're going to fight all the way to the end.
Yep, absolutely. So here's another crazy story.